Hi, this is Kristen Melinda, and this is page 47, where I take a random book, read page 47 from it, and talk about what I get from it. Today's book is going to be The Highly Sensitive Person by Elaine Aron, Ph.D. Here we go. Oh, it starts at the end of a sentence, so I'll just pick up with the next paragraph. If this is your style with your infant or body, you may want to think back to its source. Perhaps you had an overprotective, needy caretaker who really wanted a child very dependent and never able to leave. Or the caretaker's own sense of strength or self-worth was bolstered by being stronger and so needed. If your caretaker had several children, being the most sensitive made you ideal for these purposes. Note that there were probably many times, too, that this sort of caretaker really was not available, whatever you were told. Such a caretaker was tuned into her or his needs, not yours. The point of all this is that how others took care of you as an infant or body has very much shaped how you take care of your infant or body now. Their attitude toward your sensitivity has shaped your attitude toward it. Think about it. Who else could have taught as deep a lesson? Their care for you and their attitude toward your body directly affects your health, happiness, longevity, and contributions to the world. So unless this section of this chapter is distressing to you, stop and take some time to think about your infant body's first caretaker and the similarities between that early caretaking and how you care for yourself now. If you do feel distressed, take a break. If you think that you might need some professional or perhaps non-professional emotional support and company while you look at your insecure attachment and its effects on you now, get that help. Out too much, in too much. Just as there are two kinds of problem caretakers, underprotective and overprotective, there are two general ways that highly sensitive persons fail to care properly for their bodies. You may push yourself out too much, overstimulate yourself with too much work, risk-taking, or exploring. Or you may keep yourself in too much, overprotecting yourself when you really long to be out in the world like others. Wow. So this book, The Highly Sensitive Person, talks about the theory with some research support behind it that some individuals are come out already basically with more sensitive nervous systems. We feel things more deeply. Maybe we can't filter out certain noises that other people can ignore. Our experience of the world is kind of like having a thinner skin. We're more likely to cry more easily, have our feelings hurt more easily, but at the same time, we're more likely to be able to notice what's going on with others around us and pick up on their feelings and things like that as well. So it comes with kind of a double-edged sword. There's strengths to it and there are difficulties to it as well. And this book goes into detail about what that might look like. Now, some people have a theory that a highly sensitive person is just like a mild form of autism, but there's some differences here and there. Regardless, this page in particular, this page 47, which besides being 47 is random in the book, kind of resonates with me clearly. I mean, while truly I can't remember exactly how I was taken care of as an infant, at least not really. There's like flashes of that here and there, but I do recall, having, being one of multiple children. My caretaker had a lot to do, had a lot on their plate, and didn't always have time to stop and assist me with processing some really intense feelings and things like that. And that's normal, and that's not knocking her at all. That's just what happens when you have, competing things that you have to take care of and attend to, and multiple children to care for. What really, really hits me really, really hard is this last part that says highly sensitive people tend to overdo one way or the other. Like we tend to over push ourselves too much or protect ourselves too much, that it's hard to find that middle ground. And I have experienced that my whole life. It is difficult for me to find the happy medium between pushing myself and doing too much and getting out in the world too much and hiding and doing nothing at all. It's kind of like it's this all or nothing feeling that I'm having to constantly compensate for this sensitive nature that I have in one way or the other. But I guess what this book is getting at is that there is a way to balance it. You know, you can get involved in activities you like, but then build in a break. And not everyone might need that break. And that's something that I've struggled with. If you're a highly sensitive person, you may need things like breaks between meetings. Other people might not. Like people that aren't as sensitive to other people's emotions and what's going on in a room, they might be able to jump from meeting to meeting with a bunch of people without much difficulty or much trouble or much exhaustion. But for me personally, I kind of need about 15 minutes before, between meeting with one person and meeting with the next person. Even if the subject of the meeting is not that intense, regardless, even if we're just hanging out and shooting the breeze, I'm still so attuned to what's going on in that interaction that it can be almost a little overwhelming. And to jump right from that to another person might be overstimulating to me. So for me, what I take away from this is that I need to build in some breaks for myself. Since I am a little bit more thin-skinned than other people, maybe not everybody, but some people. I highly recommend this book. This is one I did read a long time ago, but I need to go back and read because it's been a long time. And I find that I get different things from books now that I have started to reach out and connect with people more. And I think you'll find that the same thing happens for you. Have a great day.